more. Okay, Reeta Roy, please introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Reeta Roy. I'm the president and CEO of the MasterCard Foundation. We are a global foundation sited in Toronto. Our vision is to create a world where everyone, all people, have opportunities to learn, to prosper. And we do this primarily through advancing access to financial services, also known as microfinance, and advancing access to learning opportunities for young people. We work primarily in Africa, where there's the greatest numbers of people who are unbanked and the lowest rates in terms of educational attainment.
Wonderful. What I'm interested in, I mean, obviously we're here at the Clinton Global Initiative. So what have you done here, and what sort of partners have you found here?
Clinton Global Initiative has been an extraordinary community. It's a community, to my mind, or a place where leaders come, they make commitments, but most importantly, they take that step and they translate those commitments into action. And so for us, it's been quite an energizing place for us to come together and meet extraordinary organizations doing extraordinary work, really at the frontier of poverty reduction. We have formed 6 partnerships as a result of our networking, and I cannot say enough that the power of connections is not to be underestimated.
Can we talk about specific commitments, dollar amounts, lives changed, and anything that you can quote us?
Absolutely. So our overall foundation has an asset base of $4 billion. To date, we have committed over $400 million towards the 2 primary areas I mentioned a moment ago, microfinance and youth learning. About 60 million of that is commitments which we have made as a result of programs here at CGI. And I'd love to highlight one of them. One of our most amazing partnerships is with an organization just dedicated to advancing girls and young women, and that is CAMFED. We're working with CAMFED in Ghana and in Malawi to promote secondary education, and most importantly, to look at what comes after secondary education. This is a program which is not only enabling young women who are in often very vulnerable circumstances complete their schooling, but most importantly, it's also promoting financial literacy and entrepreneurship to women who have already graduated. And through these women, they are going to be agents of change by actually transmitting that knowledge to the communities where they live. So this is a $10 million commitment, over $10 million commitment. It will affect well over 260,000 people in both Ghana and Malawi.
What does financial literacy look like in Africa? I'm sure it's very different there, where the standard of living is lower, the cost of living is lower, and the education has traditionally as well stopped before middle school often.
Surprisingly, the core concepts are universal. Financial literacy is, at the end of the day, it's about taking charge of your life. It's about understanding the basics of budgeting. It's understanding what you need versus what you want. It's about spending within your means. It's about making plans, and it's about thinking about the future. It's thinking about how you save and how you make and how you designate commitments to yourself in terms of what you want to do, whether it's to go to school, whether it's to fund your child's education, whether it's to start a business. Those core concepts are universal, and unfortunately, we are, as a planet, as a community, often not able to get that word out. So we have a very structured program working through CAMFED to using a train-the-trainer method to get those messages out.
Well, I think part of it too is also the financing. I mean, I've heard from some Kenyan girls that their families, some at a certain age, are very interested in selling them into marriage, and it's hard to convince them or to make the case that investing in education is going to add up more. So how do you get beyond that? Is there an easy model that CAMFED or Global Give Back Circle or one of your other partners have adopted that you are finding to be very effective?
I have to go back to CAMFED. I was in Ghana earlier part of this year, and I met a young woman who actually faced a very similar situation to what you're describing. Her parents didn't want her to go on to keep being in school. She was on a CAMFED bursary. In fact, they wanted her to marry a man, but she said, look, he's much older, and he already has 3 wives. And she did something extraordinary. She said no. She said no, because she had that scholarship from CAMFED and she could already see a future. And she could see a possibility of what her life could become. Today, she's already finished secondary school. She is enrolled in a diploma. She wants to become a networker. I'm not an IT person, but that's the world that she's entering.
Yeah.
She's also supporting 3 of her sisters. And do you know what? Her parents could not be prouder, because what they can see is not just the pride and the self-esteem in their daughter, but they've now seen her self-worth and how much she can actually contribute to the family and what that means.
Now, I know that you are a person that's responsible for putting money where the heart of your corporation is, but you're also someone who mentors as well. Do you want to say anything about the process of mentoring? Because that's something that a lot of women in America can do.
Absolutely. I've been very fortunate to be involved with a wonderful organization known as the Global Gift Circle. And this is an organization which has a magic formula. It focuses on girls, it helps them stay in school, complete their education. And the most important ingredient is mentoring. And it connects these young girls with women all around the world, or women in their host country, in this case Kenya. And so I've been very fortunate to mentor a young woman by the name of Lillian Katiri, who frankly has taught me more than I have probably imparted to her. But I think mentoring is a very special relationship. It requires discipline, it requires consistency, but it also requires an openness and trust building. And we talk about multiple topics, from who am I, what do I want to do in my life, how do I start talking to boys, how do I make plans, how do I tell my parents that I'm not interested in what they think I should be studying. It covers a diverse set of topics, but the most important thing that a mentor needs to do is not impose your views. It's to listen, and it's to ask questions which guide your young person, your mentee, to make informed decisions about what they want to do with their life.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I do know you have to go and be in the closing plenary, so we will let you go. Any last words?
I think I would have to put in a plug for CGI. This is an extraordinary place which brings together amazing people who have dreams which have yet to be realized, people who have the funding to make those dreams possible, and it's all about connections.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.